Hello, I am Immanuel Kant. I am an 18th century German philosopher. My work has been largely around epistemology, aesthetics, and ethics, and has had a profound influence on generations of philosophers. I am going to be your guide for this module today. Normative ethical theories form an important part of the study of modern-day business ethics. However, before we start discussing the topic, let's first take a look at what is ethical theory and why is it important in business. Ethical theory means the rules and principles that determine right and wrong for any given situation. It does not necessarily tell us what we should or should not do. It rather offers a perspective and helps develop an enriched moral reasoning to approach ethical dilemmas. For business as an entity, the ethical decision-making process is a challenging task because the decision-making process has to deal with complex situations which pose ethical dilemmas and require consideration of ethics in their relationship with their customers, products, services, employees, and government, amongst others. Business needs to adopt rational and well-thought-through arguments which will have broader consent amongst its different stakeholders on issues such as those related to organizational strategy, human resources policies, supply chain, or corporate stance on corruption, amongst others. The ethical theories are broadly classified into two categories: normative theories and descriptive theories. Normative theories refer to the theories that point to expected ways of acting morally, while descriptive theories refer to the real practice and refer to what and how it is. However, in this learning module, we will focus on normative theories. Before we start talking about normative theories, let's take a look into these two extreme positions in ethics. These are ethical absolutism and ethical relativism. Ethical absolutism points to dogmatic views which prescribe an objective viewpoint in making of right or wrong decisions. But ethical relativism states that context is an important factor in determining morality, and therefore it is subjective. Ethical relativism proposes two contrasting beliefs can be equally correct, and in doing so differs from descriptive relativism, which claims that different cultures have different ethics. We take a look at an example here of people taking a stance against abortion and euthanasia, which can be considered ethical absolutism, given the Judeo-Christian belief that life is a sacred gift from God, and therefore these are wrong acts to do. However, ethical relativism believes that abortion is justified in case of rape or danger to the life of the mother, or that terminally sick people have the right to decide to end their lives. Now, let's examine normative ethics a little more deeply. There are two categories of normative theories: teleological and deontological theories. Teleological theories are further explained through egoism and utilitarianism, while deontological theories account for Kantian theory, ethics of duty, and ethics of rights and justice. Let us now move towards having some deeper understanding of these theories. Teleological theories are derived from the Greek word teleos, which means goals. Teleological theories are also referred as consequentialist theories, which claim moral judgment is based on the intended outcomes, the aims, or the goals of a certain action. Ethical decision-making, therefore, is based on the outcome or the quality of the intended outcome. Egoism, the presupposition here is that a manager, as a moral agent, or the business person, or the organization, will first try to safeguard their position and first preserve their own interests. This theory poses a number of problems, as it creates conflicts, and if, in a given situation, all the parties involved seek to pursue their own interests, solutions to issues can never be achieved. Utilitarianism, the presupposition here is that any action is permitted if the consequence leads to maximum benefits and minimum harm. It is based on the greatest happiness principle. Deontological theories come from the word deonto, which means duty in Greek. They are referred to as non-consequentialist theories. It states that means are more important than the outcome. That is to say, the outcome is not of main concern, but it is the duty or principles which drive a decision. There are three important components of non-consequentialist or deontological theory. They are Kantian theory, ethics of duty, and ethics of right and justice. Kantian theory proposes that worth of a moral action should be based on the intention of the person performing the decision. This theory offers categorical imperative, which are maxim 1, maxim 2, and maxim 3. Maxim 1 examines the dimension of consistency of an action. It proposes that an action is right if everyone can follow the same underlying principle in any similar situation. However, the question also is that if everyone were to act in a similar way in comparable situations, does that make it a universal law? Maxim 2 examines the dimension of human dignity. The understanding being that respect for human dignity and individual freedom is maintained, where people are not treated as means to the ends of others. And the last is Maxim 3. It examines the dimension of universality. In an attempt to overcome the challenge of subjectivity, the maxim examines if the principle can be applied to or is acceptable to every human being. The duty of ethics has been criticized for being very complex, undervaluing outcomes, and for being too optimistic. An important non-consequentialist approach is that of ethics of right and justice, which is derived from the works of the famous philosopher John Locke. The principle states that some of the most important rights are those of right to life, freedom, and property, which have also been extended to include freedom of speech and entitlement to a fair legal process, amongst others. That's all our lesson for normative ethical theories of business ethics. See you in the next lesson. judgment.